All right, we are live. I am Amy of Hoodzpah.
And I'm Jen.
And this is Jen's other sister, B. B is filling in for Jen. B is always here. You're always here, though. Jen never comes anymore. Also, chat, what's up? We've got Winston Elliott. Oh my gosh, Winston, I'm so happy to see you. It's been so long. Remember our good old days at LCAD? Winston, do you remember when we used to see deer, like just in the middle of class, just deer roaming around Laguna Canyon, not even realizing they're living in one of the most expensive areas in the world, rent-free, and I love it. Winston's an amazing illustrator and designer. He works at Taco Bell, and he used to be my student at Laguna College of Art and Design. It's so lovely. J. Mark Bowden's in the house. The Old Faithful, ye Old Faithful is what we're going to call him, Mark Bowden, because dang. Anna Tomzak, what's up? She says, hi guys, been waiting for part 2. Oh my gosh, I know. It's been a while. It's been about a month. Yeah. But it was
like
it got so busy.
So busy.
Usually the summers are slow for us. Yeah. I feel like almost every business experiences that lull in the summer. But
not this summer.
Yeah. we're currently like redesigning our site a little bit. We're updating our font page so we can have like lots of licenses and break down the prices better for lower price points. But oh my gosh, it's so much work to like redo it all. But what's up, John Cutt? Hey, Andrew Ordway. Lydia E., Lori Ashcroft, Cameron Davis, what's up? Cameron is our friend from Arizona, out in the heat, surviving out in the heat. Oh my gosh. Cameron, it's Arizona, right? It's not New Mexico. I always remember you because I think ASU. So anyway. Kelly Freitas, hello.
Oh, hey.
Basically, hi, how's it going? Happy summer to everybody. We're just going to do some live design here. It's stuff we have to work on anyways, but there's no client. We are the client, so we get to actually share the process, which is so cool. So I thought, why not live stream it? And we just want to be your blonde Bob Ross, or I want to be your blonde Bob Ross.
And I want to be the brunette spectator.
And you want to be the brunette Barbara Walters interviewing me.
Yes.
Do you remember Barbara Walters from 2020?
Yeah.
Before your time.
By the name and because of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is 2020. And I forgot who does the takeoff of her on SNL, but it's so funny. It's hilarious. Ooh, Kelly Freitas says, B, give a hair tutorial, please. Yeah, what's your secret?
Thanks. I just, and then, you know.
That's like the Dennis Rodman gif everyone's been cycling around from the ESPN, The Last Dance, where he's like, I'm just like, whoop, whip, zip. And he's like explaining how he used to do like defense. And oh my gosh, it's so funny. Dennis Rodman, old friend of ours, if you didn't know, we used to drink with him at the class of 47.
Just to dance it up every Friday.
Oh my gosh, he loved that song. Every week he came in and put that song by Avicii on the jukebox. Yeah. It's like, hey, brother.
That's right. Oh my gosh, he was obsessed.
Dang, I love that song.
So
Union
funny.
Station, bluegrass mixed with Avicii. It's a great mix. It's unexpected. I like it. All right. So Marissa Haas says, in my web design class, we had to do a presentation on websites we thought were designed well, and I talked about Hoodzpah's site. What? I just picked a random comment, and that's so nice.
That's so nice.
Thanks, Marissa. KK Tammy's tuning in from Hawaii. We love Hawaii. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So what are we working on today? I guess we'll just jump into design, unless, B, do you have any other thoughts you'd like to share?
It's cooler weather. I saw that. Yeah, it's below 100 degrees today. Thank goodness.
B sweats at 72.
B sweats.
B sweats at 72.
Period.
At 70. At 68. She's always trying to turn it down, and I'm always trying to turn the thermometer up in the office.
Yeah,
so.
Amy's like, it's 80. I need a blanket. I'm like, I can't take any more clothes off.
Oh, it's true. I have like
two different temperatures.
Like. Yeah. I have like a fur blanket that I wear at all times. But anyway, we're glad that you're here, and we're glad to be your digital coworker for the day. So let's jump into some design, why don't we? So this is what we're working on. Let me just get this out of the way. See if we can. Okay. To like organize all my screens here. Okay, so what we're working on is this not easy but not impossible lettering. And it's going to be for one of our chapter openers for our book. I know, we talk about it all the time. It's so boring. If you're curious what it's about, watch part 1. We'll link it in the show notes. But basically, they're fun little lettered pieces. It's an excuse for us to kind of try new styles, get weird with it in a way that maybe clients are like, that's too weird for me, but we can do for ourselves. And so we're just going to wrap it up. Since the last time we chatted, I kind of updated what we had. This is kind of where we ended last week, or last month, more like. It was a long time ago.
Just a little bit before that.
Yeah. And I liked it, but it felt I kind of centered it a little bit before this, and then that O was really skinny and kind of weird, but it felt just like a little bit too weird. So anyway, I just kind of widened that up a bit. It's a little bit more of a circle now, and just kind of adjusted a few things. So I think it's looking pretty good. We'll let it sit again after today's lettering and see how far we get. So today we need to work on the but not impossible part. It's not easy, but it's not impossible. And this is all speaking about starting your own business or starting your own freelance hustle. It can feel hard and daunting and impossible, but stupider people have done it, and I am one of those stupider people. So think about your family members. Think about your family members who own businesses. I guarantee you there's one that you're just like, how? How are they doing it? They're not the sharpest tool in the shed. So if they can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the sentiment for what we're working on today. So I started a few letters really quickly before we started because I started to get really panicked that I wouldn't know what to do once we hit record live. And I just don't want to make a fool of myself online. So here's kind of where we're starting. Here's our sketch. I went ahead and just made 3 quick
butts.
Characters. Yeah, 3 quick butts. And I'm going to just pull it off to the side here so we can see it better because my sketch is like kind of all over the place. But I'm really liking this UT. It's kind of like a monoline with a fat serif. It's all wrong, but it's also very right, don't you think? So I think we're going to continue on with this and just see where it takes us. If we don't like it, the great news is I have the monoline underneath that I can just take and we can try and like work it into something else. So, oh, Trevor Gio, we have another LCAD student in the house. Hello, what's up? Oh my gosh, he said, looks fun. Thank you, Trevor. LCAD really in the house today. I love it. I think LCAD starts up like next week again, which is crazy. School's back. All right, so I'm going to start just messing around on this and see where we get. Because we went monoline, I'm going to cut this shape that I started and just kind of like re-look at how we're building this. I will just get rid of that. And I'm just going to carry out this monoline.
And Khalif, when do we get to see an episode focused on B's process for the black and white portraits?
Ooh.
I have a video call here in a bit, but I might definitely think about maybe leaving this on mute while y'all work. Well, I definitely maybe think you should definitely do that. Maybe. And that's so nice. I'm so glad you enjoyed them. I've had so much fun making them, and I have been thinking about that, making a little video, or you can export it from Procreate where it's like, this is how I did it.
Oh yeah, like the time lapse. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about it and working on it. But thank you so much. That's so sweet.
Yeah, the time lapse would be a great way to test that.
Yeah.
Or just do it on Instagram Live. You don't need no YouTube.
You don't need no YouTube.
You don't need YouTube.
Yeah.
Screw YouTube.
Instagram
Just kidding. Yeah,
Jessica,
Instagram.
hey Jessica. Jessica's so cool. She's so sweet. Comes into the live streams and is on Instagram. Does beautiful little logos and stuff.
Cool. All right, I'm not sure how wide I want some of these to get, but you can see they're like wider than regular, my letters. They're a little bit, yeah, they're wide. So I'm like, how wide do we get it? How much wider is the capital? That sort of thing. I made some guides so I could see like where things are landing. I need to make this B a lot bigger. I can see that right off the bat. So we'll just go ahead and scale that up.
Bigger bees.
Bigger
Yeah.
B's.
It's always a thing.
You are you are a big B. You're like 5'8".
I'm a big bee.
A tall B, I should say, not
Big and tall. Huge and long.
Miranda. Does anyone in the chat watch obscure English TV? And do you also love Miranda?
She's the best.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
the same.
I love British TV. We've been watching Brassic, which you haven't seen yet, have
I
you?
have, yeah. I've
Oh,
seen
okay.
like half of it.
Oh, it's so
It's
good. It's
so
so
good.
heartwarming. I just love. They're like ruffians, but with heart. It's really nice.
Justin Reed, Coffee says, fat serifs make the world go round.
Oh yeah.
And I agree. Yeah, they do.
I do love a fat
The
serif.
fatter the serif, the better.
I like anything that's really exaggerated. Anything that's like not normal. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to take this kind of like serif that I made for the U, and I'm going to just kind of like repurpose it. One of these days, I'm actually going to do a live streaming glyphs because it really is so awesome. I love Illustrator, but for lettering, glyphs makes it so easy. It's kind of crazy how easy they make it. So I'm going to do that. I think these should come in at teens.
So KK Tammy, is there a schedule to these lives? I look forward to these so much, and I would hate to miss them.
Oh, you know what you should do? Subscribe to the channel. Then it'll make sure that you always know what's up and when, that kind of thing. So just hit that, not to be a YouTube person, but hit that
like
punch
and
that
subscribe.
button.
And Chloe Lawrence, how do you find making typefaces when there's so many out there? How do you stand out from the rest and make something that doesn't feel too similar to something else? Good question.
It is really hard, you know? When I first started, I was like, we don't need any more typefaces. Like, surely there's enough by now, you know? I just look in my own Font Explorer, you know, like font management software, and I can't find anything. There's too many. So, but then you start a project and you're like, you know what I really need is like something with like something very specific, basically. And then you scroll for hours on my fonts or, you know, Font Spring or wherever, Adobe fonts, and you can't find it. So that's pretty much how all of my fonts have started, is like me making a piece of lettering because I couldn't find exactly what I wanted. And I feel like that's a good place to start because you've already sort of done a little bit of the research of like, is there something like this out there? Is this too similar to something that's already out there? But I mean, if you look at just look at half of the grotesques out there or the sans serifs out there, it's pretty hard to tell them apart sometimes. There's nuances though, and it's crazy how much those nuances can really change a design. So that's kind of the thing that I've been learning a lot recently is like, there's a lot of nuance to type design that I didn't realize until I started designing fonts and typefaces. And that seems like a backwards way to go about it, I know. But sometimes the best way to learn is to just kind of do. And it doesn't mean you're going to become like a type designer and that's the only thing you do. But I'll tell you what, if you try to make your own typeface, you will know so much more about the nuances of type. And if you do a sans serif, you're going to learn about that. If you do a serif, you're going to learn about that. I haven't made a beautiful serif yet, so that's kind of like next on my list. But even just doing this lettering today, I'm learning so much about the construction of it all.
Totally.
Yeah.
So hello from Israel. Oh, Yarin. Help me if that's incorrect. Oh, John, the High Road Design. Hey, hi B, hi Amy.
Oh, dude, John.
High Road Design here. What's next in the font world? Anything cooking?
Dude, John does. You want to talk about live streams?
So many live streams. It's amazing.
Yeah,
so much drawing and good music and funny drawings. Like, so clever. I don't know how you do it, John. It's just...
To me, the High Road Design aesthetic is like, I can tell you grew up on Mad TV or Mad Magazine. Is that right? John, tell me if that's right. Because it feels so like subversive and like, ooh, I hope my mom doesn't see that I'm reading this. You know what I mean?
Also, Mark says he was raised on British TV. So then do you know Miranda? Because it's like a big deal. It's a big deal in this house. Miranda is a celebrity here.
Miranda is, she's it.
She's it. She's much like Mary Berry in that we love her.
Oh my gosh. I miss the Bake Off. I feel like we are due for a new season.
Yeah. Either
like,
we're missing it or it's not happening.
Yeah.
I feel like they did do some since COVID. So
you know what I found recently, and I could only find like YouTube clips of it? They did like a celebrity
Bake Off?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
With who?
James McAvoy. That's the only person I could find the clip of. And I was like, where is this to watch? When is this coming to Netflix?
Oh, John says you're correct.
Is that right? Okay, I knew it. I was like, because I remember when I used to see Mad Magazine when I was a kid, and I was like, like it just felt so naughty. It felt so naughty. Kind of like in the way that like, for some reason, Ren and Stimpy felt so much more edgy than The Simpsons. Like it just felt so wrong.
Right. Yeah, totally. Noah Shreve says, "What's up?
What's up, Noah?" Yeah, but back to British TV. Has anyone seen and does anyone love Vera? It's so good.
I don't know what that is.
If you like British procedurals, crime procedurals, which I don't
Okay.
even know if you really like those. You're not into.
I like
You like
Columbo and Murder, She Wrote.
That is true. You have.
So-
I've totally converted you accidentally. You tried to.
I think it was pretty much on purpose. But
You
we
tried
can
to
call it an
withstand
accident.
it, but
Yeah. Well, Columbo, as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is happening. And then
Yeah.
you're like, but what about Murder, She Wrote? And I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but yes, I love that too.
I just have to convert you to My Favorite Murder. You won't.
Wait,
you
what
just
is that?
won't. That's the girls with the podcast.
No, yeah.
You just won't do it.
I can't listen to girls talk all day because
B.
I am a girl, and I don't know.
Are you gonna
I
say
need to hear
misogynistic,
no,
please?
like I need to hear a male podcast. It's just like a lower tone of voice. It's just like different tones. Like you listen to music that's like some people love pop music because it's like high pitched and whatever. There's something about listening to women talk all day. I just can't.
Dude, but Karen's voice is a low register. She has an amazing voice.
There's too much laughter. Men hardly laugh.
You can't watch our stream then. There's too much laughter.
I know I can't watch the stream back. It's just too hilarious.
Too much laughter.
Too much laughter.
All right, chat. Is this end really wrong? I know it is, but is it in a cool way?
Is it so wrong that it's right?
I'm gonna make a copy because it does feel like maybe a teens much, and actually, that one needs to go for sure. Oh, what if that does stick out though? That's kind of weird. No, I don't like that at all. Okay, we're gonna delete that. Okay, and then just gonna bring that in a bit. Actually, what I might do.
Oh, JJ Fezzik. I think that's right. I think I remember from last time. Yes, due for a new bake-off. Yes.
We are overdue. Yeah, that's better. See, things you'd think a serif would go on every corner, but then it's, you build one and you're like, that looks weird. And it's like, oh yeah, that bottom right doesn't need a serif down there. Just let her live free.
Okay, Nicholas Zegel. Dang, that select arrow tool that I've never used.
Oh, really? The lasso one?
Oh.
I love the lasso. I think I use the lasso, yeah. I use my white selection tool and my lasso so often. It's so handy, especially with type design when you're trying to move little points or just individual things very minutely. I really like the control. So maybe what I can do, let's try one more where we have this serif actually, what if it actually follows this side like this and that like that. I can just...
Hannah Dickens says, when is the new edition of the book coming out? She's been waiting to buy to get the update.
Oh, okay. I mean, Hannah, I hate to say it, it's going to be a little bit. I'm so sorry.
These live streams, there's lag time.
Well, just because we're not only redoing the illustrations, we're also trying to update the content a bit with new chapters. Just things that, we were like, gosh, we were going to write a whole new book altogether. And then we just kind of were like, let's just add these to the book we have right now. And then we'll kind of relook at potentially writing another book down the line when we have more time. So it could be a little bit. It could be a little bit. No, you could do if you really want the info. You could buy the ebook and then just write into B once the new one comes out, info at, and just say, hey, I bought the ebook, but I'd like to upgrade to the physical copy. And then we'll just credit that to the physical copy. And then, because every physical copy of the book comes with an ebook download, basically. So if you wanted, you could do that.
Lydia says she's not sure about that bottom right serif.
Yeah. Lydia, you're right. You're wrong. Right. Lydia, what's your last name? Lydia E. You nailed it. It didn't need to be there. That's what I mean. When you actually start to draw the characters, I'm not even looking at a serif right now. Because if I had, I would have seen they don't have them on the bottom right. But I wasn't.
Okay, Simone Wilder. I have a very low voice. Should I start a podcast? Yes, and I will listen to it.
Simone, your episode with Creative Pep Talk with Andy was so good. I really enjoyed it. I'm sure everybody's been saying that, but yes, you 100% have a voice made for podcasting. It's so funny. I always wanted a really low voice. Because my voice is like Minnie Mouse. I hate my voice. Every time I used to record my voicemail, I would do it when I was sick because my voice it's like all raspy.
This is Amy.
But hey, this is the voice I have. If I could just speak slower, that would really help things a lot, I think. All right, so.
Oh, good. JJ Fezzik. I pronounced it correctly. Thank you. And Nicholas said yes. The lasso. That's what he was referring to.
That lasso is really handy. So I think I'm going to go ahead and copy this over here. I need to make my O, and I hate making an O because it's really tough. But I'm just going to start with a circle shape because this is sort of like a monoline. So I think I'm just going to start with a perfect circle. It needs to be a little bit wider, and it needs to be italicized, but that's like a good place to start. And then we can kind of adjust from there.
Rachel Serifeli. I'm going to get so good at pronouncing names. Watching this, now I understand why gamers watch live streams.
I've always, so nice. It's so funny. I know. Also, Simone and everybody in here that's ever been on a podcast, isn't it so funny how no other industry likes to interview their peers on podcasts the way that actors and designers do? It's crazy. And maybe psychologists, the Brene Brown kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I'm like, there are so many design podcasts, and yet I'm still like, it'd be great if we had some more design podcasts. And I still listen to all my friends' interviews, no matter how many times they're interviewed. So, but it is funny. But what was the original question?
Oh, just that she understands why people watch gamers on live streams.
Totally. It really is.
Because it's such fun.
It is such fun.
John says, do you all use Astute Graphics plugins for Illustrator?
Oh, I do. I have Astute Graphics. You know what? I use it mostly. I still need to, there's a lot I need to figure out about a lot of their plugins because they have so many and I haven't tested them all yet. So I kind of need to go in and figure out what some of them do. But I mean, for this AG block shadow that they have, it's worth all the money just for that one. I use that one all the time. And I'm actually making a font right now that has a drop shadow based on that. So totally paid for itself.
Simone says, I sound like a teenage boy, so you're not missing much. That's my favorite sound. Just teenage boys having fun.
That is so weird. That is such a weird stance to take.
Is it? I mean, teach their own. Teenage boys have so much fun. They're always laughing, making fart jokes, poop jokes. What? Name a better group.
All right. That is true. Your favorite movies are Dude, Where's My Car? What's the one? Your Highness.
Your Highness.
You do love
Grandma's Boy.
You do have the humor of a teenage boy. That is true.
It's just Year One.
Year One.
Funny. So funny.
All the movies that I hate.
All the movies that you hate.
But we do agree on things like Jack Black or things like that.
Yes. We're just on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Yes.
Hot and cold.
So sometimes
fart jokes and serious.
100%. 100%. So this, you can see when I select it, my selection rectangle is on a can't because I skewed it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to live trace it, which sounds like, what do I need to do that for? Where's my live trace stuff? Here we go. Pathfinder it. I'm just going to Pathfinder it using the compound shape one, and it readjusts my anchor points. It's pretty cool. So now they're at the northwest, southeast most. Little trick. So now I can easily direct select that left anchor point, move it out one, or the left one out one and the right one out one. But it's pretty handy. And I'm just gonna do that. Actually, the guidelines are back on.
I know. Jessica says, I have such a high-pitched voice that every time I need to talk on the phone, they think I'm a child. It's very annoying.
Oh,
that is so frustrating.
Annoying.
I'd be so mad.
So one thing is I need to, that's too far out. Just going to.
Michelle Sophia says, I think it's so funny how you and Jen say you can tell yourselves apart on a podcast because of your voices. Is that because Jen's voice is lower?
Yeah, but on the last one we did together, I couldn't tell. I was like, we're blending into one person every day. I don't know. There's no difference whatsoever anymore. All right, so what I think I'm going to do, I keep saying that. I'm so sorry. One day I'll be able to actually do something without saying I think I'm going to do.
Like, what was that? The Carrie Bradshaw thing?
Oh my gosh, so we've been rewatching Sex and the City because I've never seen it. I grew up without cable. Well, we had cable. We had like basic TV, I guess, but we didn't have any special channels, nothing special. So I never had a lot of those experiences. So we're rewatching it now that we have HBO. And literally every other line is her saying, I can't help but wonder.
That's what it is.
I can't
I'm like,
help
it's
but
something about
wonder.
wondering something.
Am I? And it's like, oh my gosh, aren't you a writer? Didn't your editor tell you?
It's your tagline.
It's too repetitive. She said it twice in the span of like
3
2
minutes.
seconds. Yeah. It's too much. But she's not really a writer. She's a TV written writer. That's like on TikTok, those girls that are like, I'm a male written female character. Have you seen those? They're really funny.
No, I haven't. But that is funny.
Yeah. And then there's like the female written male character. It's so funny. Okay, that's
all
right. I don't love it, but I don't hate it, and I'd rather just move on. Oh, I always accidentally do Command P. Get that print dialogue. Okay, so it's maybe too fat. We'll see how it looks.
Okay, David DeFeo says 2 things. First of all, news update. No one likes the sound of their own voice. That is so true.
Yes, that is true.
And the other thing is he pays for astute graphics and feels like he's only tapped into 5%.
I know, me too. They have so many different tools. Also, Dave DeFeo, what's up? Dave is from Long Beach. He used to produce the Adventures in Design podcast, right?
Fun.
But yeah, Dave, you're like one of the funniest people I've ever met. You should try stand-up comedy. I know it's the worst idea. That's the worst fiscal job idea. But if you make it, not a bad idea.
Oh, people are amazed at the Pathfinder trick.
Oh, isn't that cool? I know. It's really handy. Obviously, it doesn't work if you have like an open line segment, because if I Pathfinder that U bowl, it kind of does that. But, it still kind of works in that you could like cut these 2 things off. But you know what I'm saying. So it works best on things like O's. All right. So the interesting thing is now that I've got this monoline, the O looks kind of weird, but I'm just going to keep rolling.
Adam Wolfie says, I came here to be entertained, not learn. Stop teaching me new things.
I love that. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and someone asked to see that Pathfinder trick again.
Okay. So basically, I don't have one, but I just had an O that I had sheared and I had rotated. So I sheared it like this. And when you shear it, it turns your selection box on a cant like that. Do you see? And so if you just Pathfinder it, your bounding box is, a perfect square so that you can then continue to shear or, grab things or whatever. Then you can just, expand it like this if you want. Actually, that might even look better because when it's on the cant like that, if I try to go like this, it just makes it bigger. But if I Pathfinder it, then I can pull it out from, the horizontal direction. That actually does look better than the one I have, I think. I'll save that just in case, but. All right, so. And then we got to make sure we get our overshoots, our overhangs for our O. Any kind of rounded bowl on your X height or baseline goes a little bit higher than your stems. All right, so, and then I'm constantly just re-eyedropping my original segment so that I make sure all my monolines are the same weight.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so is that a better O? Y'all tell me which O you like better. We've got, the kind of really wide one on the right or the not so wide one, the more circular one on the left. I'm just going to keep working, but you tell me which one you like so that I don't second guess it for 20 minutes. We'll just make a design by committee for once. It'll be a good thing for once. Okay, here's what we're going to do. This is going to be so fun. We're going to make an M out of this U, and it's going to be just straight up magic. Straight up Chris Angel magic. We did kind of dress rock and roll today, didn't we? We dressed like we were going to do a magic show in Vegas. Why do magicians in Vegas have to be so hardcore now? It's like, What happened to like
magic?
what's Key? No, I almost said Key and Peele.
Yeah, I was like, do they do magic?
But it's like this something and something. Penn and Teller. Tell me that's not similar in name. Dude, Key and Peele, if they did a magic show, I would watch that in a heartbeat. That's like one of the funniest shows on TV. We started watching Schmigadoon. Schmigadoon. I love how it's so interesting seeing their individual careers, Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key. Because Jordan Peele's gone the like serious drama horror route. And then Keegan is just like fully leaning into his like musical comedy. I love it. I think it's really cool. So look how I just turned that upside down.
Amazing.
An M out of a U, just straight, just like that. What I probably could do if I wanted to make it more, I don't know, perfect, I guess, I would just direct select that bowl, you know, to the left of my middle top anchor point here. And I'm just going to move that all over with my direct select one click, just so that it's a little bit narrower because it's pretty wide right now. So just so it's a little bit narrower. And maybe we'll try an M where that, I don't think we need a serif on that middle one. That's just kind of left over from the U. So we'll just get rid of that. Cool, that looks good.
Okay, this is really funny. Eloth Zuazo. Yep. Nothing worse than being a guy and people thinking you're an old lady on the phone.
Oh, no.
That's so terrible.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my gosh.
You're making me think of that podcast. Have you all listened to The Hollywood Con Queen? I hope I didn't do a giveaway by my segue. But it's so good. If you haven't listened to it yet, just go download it. I can't remember what the name of the actual podcast is because it's a season within a podcast dedicated to this Hollywood Con Queen. And at first you're like, what is even the con? Because she would call people and say like, hey, I've got this movie. We need a trainer. And, you know, and she would say all these like famous people's names were attached to it. And then this person she would have them fly out to location scout in Indonesia. And then there was no movie ever happening, but somehow she was conning them. Anyway, you have to listen to it. It's fascinating. It's kind of long, but it really clips along. It's really good. And it's like one of those ones that's like getting solved in real time. Kind of like, what was it? The Jinx on HBO or like...
I'm like, Columbo.
Columbo from 30 years ago, 40, 50. It's actually been like the 70s were 50 years ago.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's crazy to me. Well, I used to drive a 1972 Mercedes SEL. It was my daily driver. And I'd always be like, it's not that old. It was so old. Finding parts for this thing was like, and it broke down. Like if I was stopped at a stoplight for more than a minute, I was sweating. I was like, we have to get rolling.
Like, are we going to make it through this light?
This thing is going to stall out at any second. It was like,
there was so much joy and panic in that car.
It was so exciting. Wasn't it so exciting?
Yeah, it was. I miss that
wondering
car. So fun.
Oh, it was like, will I get from A to B?
Yeah. Will we have to get out and push it? Maybe.
I'll tell you what, though, when you have a car like that, you really start to appreciate, like, people who help. Like, are just like, hey, do you need some help? Yes, I actually do need some help. I really appreciate it. The worst was, though, when people would ask me what kind of car it was at the gas station. Hey, what kind of car is that? Oh, is that diesel? And I'd say, no, it's V8 gas. And they're like, are you sure? I don't know. I'm just putting gas in here.
I'm just gonna put gas in here.
I don't know. You tell me about my car. Yeah, what do you think?
That's so annoying.
Maybe crazy. I'm like, I guess I'm wrong. I guess I could be wrong. I've just been putting gas in it for 3 years and it's been perfectly running. But sure, it's diesel.
Harvey Fonda wants to know, what's your favorite letter to design and the letter that you dread, if you have any?
Harvey, were you reading my mind? We're working on an S right now, and this has to be my least favorite. It takes forever because it's just so tough. I usually try to start with like 2 rounds and then like a diagonal and kind of go from there. A spine, and then just start trying to finesse it. But it takes me forever. It's so tough. So yeah.
So S is the worst.
Yeah, that's what we're working on now, and
do you have a favorite?
Oh, my favorite? I think, I really like a G because you can get wild with it, but it can get too much too soon, but I like that there's the option of a 2-story, you know, that sort of thing. I really love lowercase a's for that reason too. I love a 2-story A. 2-story just means it's got that, you know, that arc, and then it's got the little round as well. Yeah, I think those are my faves.
And some feedback on the O. Anna Tomzak says, the wide one feels just right, but I can't explain why. That's a good reason.
Okay.
And Trevor Glove, definitely liking that wonky O more.
Okay, cool. So we did go with a kind of a meeting in the middle, which is great. We did go with the wider, though, so perfect. We're all on the same page. It feels so good.
Also, JJ Fezzik, what was the podcast called again? The one.
Oh, it's called Hollywood Con Queen. And when I tell you that you're not even, like, prepared for where it's going, like, you kind of think you know what's happening, and you don't. You just don't. So sometimes what I do is I'll start with the spine, and I've got the 2 points, but then I'll break it up. Like, I'll cut this top portion, because I've kind of got the top a little bit close to what I think could work. And then I'll just option drag that top and reflect it, like just not reflect it, but rotate it. And usually the bottom negative space, that counter, that open counter in the bottom of your S is a little bit wide, a little bit more than the top. So I'll just kind of drag that a bit, and we'll just connect those, and we'll kind of start there.
Hans Benowitz, hi Amy, Jen, and B. Yes, I know it's Amy in the video this time.
Hans, what's up? Yeah, Hans, we've been subcontracting with Hans for a while. We love Hans. All right, so what I'm going to do is just direct select those 2 points, and then you go Command J, and it'll join those for you. So now you can see that's joined. There's extra points, so I am going to delete those. There's actually a really cool, okay, so there is this cool tool in Astute Graphics that's called Inkscribe. So if I select that point, and if I click the X, it'll delete the point, but it'll still keep the anchor point so that it maintains my curve. It's really handy. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm just going to do that again because I have a few. Actually, that one is like really messed up. So I'm just going to, first I'm going to get rid of that by just kind of, let's see, where's the handle on that one? Yeah, there it is. So I'll just get rid of those. And now I'll try to do it again. But yeah, that thing comes in really handy.
Tristan Rumery says, I like to chop and mix the cap B around to build the general S vibe.
Oh, that's a good idea. The capital B? That's interesting. Yeah, I see how that could be really helpful.
Also, Sarah says, I second that Hollywood Con Queen was mind-blowing. And Jessica says, I just typed Hollywood Con Queen on Google and got a major spoiler.
I know!
And then in all caps, she's like, I just wanted to find the podcast. Oh my God!
Jessica says, I feel that so much. But don't worry. Just start listening to it. I knew going in too, and you forget. It's weird how you
just
forget
erase
immediately.
Your mind.
Yeah. But it's still so worth a listen. You're still kind of just like, what the heck? What the heck? Like the whole way throughout, you're just like, what? Where is this going, and what is the end game? It's fascinating. And also just the pure dedication this person has to like carry this out. It's so complex. That S is not bad. I'm just going to turn off my guides. That's not bad at all. I want it to be a little rounder. It kind of feels a little bit edgy. But
it does, like those things.
But yeah, it does. So maybe we'll just kind of.
Like the shine on sticker. That's what it's reminding me.
Yes, kind of. Yeah. And then what I'll do is I'll just copy this. We're just going to eyeball it. We're going to do our best. We do our own hair now. We got used to it in COVID, and now we just do our own hair.
We do.
But our motto is us sisters help each other.
It's better than it was.
It's better than it was. It's better than it was.
It's better than it was, which is
and that is true, and that's all you can ask for.
Also, sometimes. Ricky says those serifs are noise.
Noise. Is that Ricky Haggerty?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Ricky? How are you feeling? We hope you're feeling well. All right, so I think that's as good as I'm going to get it for now. It looks better than it did, and if I wanted, I could adjust this spine. I think that would open things up if you see, like, just changing the angle of that to be less severe already like open this up really nicely. So maybe that's the solution. All right, that's good for now. How are we going to do the serifs on this S? That's interesting because it would be fun to bring something like this in somehow. I'm not sure how, but maybe we start here. I'm just going to match this anchor point up to my anchor point that I have on my S to start and kind of follow that path.
Magic.
And we'll start there. Actually, I'll delete. Ooh, I need that. I'm gonna delete that, I think, and just go fully with this. So I like to have my anchor points match because then it's really easy to match the curve. So we've got that kind of going. This is definitely not what I want, but I'm gonna cut this segment and I'm gonna see what we got here. I'm gonna delete that point, and I think I'm just gonna do something like this.
Ricky says she's feeling good, thanks. And Harvey says, you were reading my mind! Exclamation point. Yes!
Alright, so and then I think I'll just do...
Ricky says it's stressing her out watching you add the serif.
I know, it's stressing me out because I'm doing it a really jerry-rigged way. So, and that's kind of what you do sometimes. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. Okay. And then I just need to match up these down here. So sometimes what I'll do if I'm trying to match like my angles, I will turn the top thing a different color just for the moment so I can see like where are things landing, where am I missing something, and this is where we're missing something. So I'm just gonna kind of like that. I'd like that to go down a bit more. And I promise I won't spend the whole time trying to figure this S out because we could be here all day for forever. I do think it's getting closer, and then we'll just kind of follow that. Oh, that's not. I hate when you try to pick up a path and it's like, oh, you want to start a new path? It's like, no, I want to pick up the old path. Except to move him first and then make our path. And this is very jerry-rigged. I can't even explain to you what I'm doing right now. And I shouldn't because it's really the wrong way. So just do as I say and not as I do. And pretend none of that happened. All right, we're getting somewhere though. So what I can do is maybe I'll option drag up this S because I want a copy of it for future reference just in case I want to go back to it. But I want to cut this path right here. Oh, it's not quite there. Maybe that's part of the problem. So I'm going to cut my path right there, get rid of that so that it just completely starts from here. And then let's make sure, it looks like the weight got off at some point. Should be 1. So we'll just go back down to 1, and then I'll fill that.
Michelle Sophia is asking, do you ever feel pressure to post everything you design online, or do you do some projects that's just for yourself?
That's a great question. I want to post more projects just for this, or not post more projects is what I should say. I'm really bad about needing validation, actually. And it's not my best quality. Because sometimes it's like you should just do things to practice, It doesn't have to be like the greatest thing ever. But I like posting things even if they're not the best because it gets me stoked to try to fix it and to try to do it better. So I think that's why I usually post frequently. But even so, like I realized a couple years back, like trying to keep up with people who post every day on Instagram, I just can't do that. It's just not my speed. I don't enjoy it as much and it stresses me out. So I was like, you know what? We don't need to post every day. Once every week or 2 weeks is plenty for content. Like we are humans after all, and we have lives to live.
He's a human. You're a mermaid.
Yeah, he's a human. You're a mermaid. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, I think that's good.
It's good. Cut that. And I really should be doing this in glyphs. So I'm going to join this up here. And at least we'll have, oh, it's saying we can't. It's saying you're not in the group. Let's see if it'll let me do it now. Sometimes I just do like that. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll just kind of like keep going because we could be on this S for literally, we could spend 4 streams on this S. And in fact, we almost have spent a whole stream on this. So we'll just keep going.
Could be centuries into the future. That's another Disney quote.
Is it? Which one?
It's from The Sword and the Stone.
Oh, I love The Sword and the Stone. Okay, so I think I'm going to do the copy thing again because, well, maybe we'll just copy the whole thing, paste in front, so it pastes exactly on top, and then I'm just going to rotate it so I can kind of figure out where I need it to be for this bottom one. And then I'll just keep the pieces that I need. So I'll keep those. I will cut this right here. And I just need to delete the other.
Oh dear. That was a semi-power outage for one moment.
All right, let us know if we're still here and if you can see everything.
Oh, yeah.
They're working on the electricity right now, so if we go out, just know that we love you and we'll be back. We'll see you soon. They're moving all of the wires in our neighborhood to underground. So if the power goes out, that's what's happening. They're probably testing something.
Derek McLennan, how do you all deal with or avoid creative burnout?
Gosh, that's a great question.
I don't think you can avoid it.
I think you're right. I think it's just
happens.
It happens, and I think it's just knowing that you need to take the break and like giving yourself the space to like be like, hey, it's okay if I don't post every day. Like, don't let people be like, oh, the algorithm. You'll lose your power over the algorithm.
Damn the algorithm.
Damn the algorithm. Take your break. Do what you need to do. That's how you're going to get your best work anyways, if you're feeling rested and feeling,
creative.
Yeah. And honestly, sometimes you just need a break. It's like you can't, I don't know. There's a reason that basketball players have an off season, Right. You can't be going at that high caliber a year straight. Unless you're Kobe. No, I'm kidding. Even he shouldn't.
Even then.
Even he shouldn't.
I just bought a book on that. It's called Creativity, A Quick and Helpful Guide by John Cleese. And it's about his creative process and how he deals with those kinds of things like creative lulls and stuff like that. I haven't read it yet, but I will report back after I do with any extra helpful advice.
Oh, that's awesome. I love John Cleese. Man, we
best.
do love the Brits, don't we?
We love the Brits.
We love the Brits.
We love them. Yep.
So there's one more. And I find that I like do my best work when I've got other things going on in my life. So it's like being inspired by other things and just like, remembering that there's other industries than ours and, I don't know, there's other things going on. All right, so we've got an eye. Oh, that's actually a cool eye. I kind of like that it's wrong.
I like it, yeah.
Yeah. It feels a little too
It feels
heavy.
right, though.
Yeah, it feels right. I think I could bring this in a bit. Anyway, we'll figure it out. But what were you saying?
Adam Wolfe said, what's the design for? He missed part 1.
Oh, the design is for our book. So we have a book called Freelance and Business and Stuff. It's all about freelancing and starting your own creative career and kind of learning the ropes of like how to run your own thing, your own studio or your own just freelance side hustle or main hustle. And so every chapter opens with like an illustration piece or a lettering piece. So we're redoing all the lettering pieces. We did them when we released the book about 3 years ago. And so we're like, let's redo them for the new version 2.
Yeah.
Because the version 2 book's going to have like 2 new chapters and all this stuff. So, and we've learned so much about lettering since then. So we were like, let's redo these. Let's make a lot of work for ourselves and redo all of these chapter illustrations. Jen was like, we don't need to do that. I was like, no, we should.
And unlike most sequels, this sequel will be even better.
Okay.
Right. No, I'm just kidding.
Just
as good.
Yes, the sequel will be better. But it's like Fast and the
Because
Furious.
there's like a little bit more. Okay, no.
Yes.
That's where we part ways. Yes. Where the hot and cold take their stances again. But Riki says, I think the algorithm is BS, honestly. High five. Oh no. David Defio?
I say Defio. Is it right?
Okay.
Tell us, Dave.
He says too soon to say he did eventually take a break. Oh, sad Kobe.
Oh. Oh, Dave. But there you go, being a comedian again, saying things too soon.
Oh, Jose Manzo.
What's up, Jose?
I need an off season, LOL.
Yeah,
we
honestly,
all need an off season.
I think I've heard of designers taking sabbaticals. We tried to take one this year, and once again, it didn't work. But I mean, for the most part, we did take a longer break than we ever have. So in some ways, it did work. But it really is important to take a sabbatical or a break or a vacation. You know, just take some time to like reset. Remember that life isn't work. Remember that you love, you know, your friends and your family. Remember nature. Oh, just so many reasons. So I'm making my B out of my O.
B-O.
B-O. And
I am a 14-year-old boy.
You really are. You really are.
Back to the design.
And that's kind of cool because the O doesn't have any serifs and neither does the E. So that's creating a little bit of balance there. But this IBLE is getting really heavy, but we'll kind of figure it out later. I think what I might do is just remove this top one and we might just go, like just remove that and just go,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just to kind of lighten it up a bit. Is that weird though? Because it's like not consistent. I don't know. We'll kind of see how it goes. And then I'll just bring this in a bit because that's a little bit too much. Okay. Or maybe a little bit.
I did lighten it.
Okay. And we'll save because we haven't done that in the whole time we've been doing this. I was watching Andrew Hockrattle and Ben Stafford's stream. They did an Adobe Live together. And they're all the Adobe Lives are hosted afterwards. So definitely go check that one out. But Ben did all this work to make this perfect chicken for this logo thing. And then he forgot to save and it crashed. And it was one of those rare times that nothing was salvageable. But sometimes you need that just so you can like, it was kind of one of those things where he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I like this. And then it crashed and it's like, you just start over and sometimes you're just like, it gives you that blank slate, that new beginning that you didn't think you wanted, but you needed. All right, so let's put this text in our design. We've got our not impossible. And I'm just going to copy it over. First, I'm going to group, I think, my phrases so that I can move them around independently and kind of mess around with them. So I'm grouping those. Got this. In my sketch, I've got but not impossible on 2 lines. I thought it'd be cool if we could put the but in the round, but it feels wrong to say but this much.
You put the but in the round.
But I don't know. I don't know about that now. We'll try, how about this? We'll try 2 different variations. I love making a couple variations and sending it to a friend and saying, what do you think? What do we do?
Hans wants to know what's your favorite way to keep a consistent vertical slant.
Oh, so if I turn my guides on and if I turn my layers on over here, my layer panel, I have a layer panel that just says guidelines. And I've got these hot pink angles for myself so I can know where my italic's going, what kind of angle we're working with. And then I just option drag them as I need them. And doing that and also just starting out building like a T, an O, and an N. Those are kind of all the shapes that you should need to make all the other letters or at least start. So that'll give you, if you kind of copy those elements and reuse those stems, it helps you keep consistent. Or at least that's how I do it, Hans.
Riki is so nice. She said everyone should buy Fabus. It's highly recommended. And Adam Wolf says, okay, I have the first version. Love it. Also, B, the E is silent. So it's Adam Wolf, not Adam Wolfie.
Wolfie!
I've been saying it.
Adam
Thank
Wolf.
you for that. Brenda says, just bought the book and mug last week. Currently sipping coffee with it.
Ooh,
Yay.
Brenda. That's awesome.
And
I love
Hans,
that mug.
Hans says, Fabus is definitely a trilogy. Now I feel like I'm not even saying Fabus right.
I hate saying Fabus.
Fabus.
Every time we get interviewed, we were on Chris Doe's podcast and he was like, Fabus! Fabus! I was like, I love that. That's great. But Fabus. We should have thought about the title in terms of a better acronym, but we didn't. But I love the title.
Freelance and business and stuff. I love it.
Stuff. And the extras.
And this and that and the other thing. And
yeah,
so
it's like,
on
and
so
everything
forth.
else that we forgot to put in
And
this
et
title. Okay, so let's try 2 variations. I'm going to go ahead and just delete this old one. I'm going to unlock my background layer and copy in that orange. And then we can make 2 versions. And if I don't end up putting the but in that S swash, I'm going to try to figure out something else. Like maybe it's a swash. I don't know what it should be, but I feel like there's going to need to be something in here. Oh, what
You could do a star.
Okay, so
or something.
that's true. That's
Okay,
true.
But also your thing.
Oh, in my sketch I have a novel, because you know how that's life. It's
yeah.
not easy. It's never easy. Life sucks.
Yeah, that's
a lot of times it's never perfect. I shouldn't say life sucks, but basically if you go in expecting perfection, life can be really hard.
Then it will suck.
I want to speak to the camera right now.
This is a moment.
We're going to have a moment. Mother Amy is going to teach you a lesson. Call me Auntie Amy. But literally the best thing I ever learned and from a mentor was stop going in expecting perfection. That is the quickest way to be let down. Go in with no expectations. That way you're pleasantly surprised. If something works out, it's a plus. It's a win no matter what. Yeah. So I would definitely say that. So that in that way, our lettering that we have, Not Easy But Not Impossible, is a novel for life. It is a memoir. Maybe we say a memoir. Or a novel. So I thought that'd be funny to put in. But it might be too obscure of a joke if I can't explain it via video. So maybe we do a memoir and we set that in. Let's do Santa Ana Sands. We'll do light. Or maybe regular. Something just kind of simple so it doesn't take away. We can change it later, but we'll just start here. I'm going to track it really wide because that looks classy.
Mark and Aiden are both noticing how difficult it is for me with the butt. With the butts.
It's like
Bernadette, Leslie, what's the best way to convert your fonts on Mac to the relevant font file names after you make them?
Oh, well, for that I use a program called Glyphs. That's what I use. And Glyphs is amazing for creating a typeface. The detail, the precision, the control you have there is like unbelievable. But if you're just starting out and you're like, I don't even know if I want to buy that program, it's kind of expensive, just try Font Self. It's a plugin that hooks in with Adobe Illustrator. Font Self, FONTSELF. And you can just export it straight from Illustrator. So it's kind of handy. I've not used that, but I hear a lot of people, I think that's what Kern Club uses, Sam Bergini and Destin over at Kern Club. So if you like their fonts and you think those are legit, which I do, that's the kind of caliber you can get with just Font Self, which is a plugin. And I think it's pretty inexpensive. So definitely worth a try.
Danielle Elia, maybe. Is your Adobe Library color palette available to the public because every color you use is so cool?
Oh, dang, that's cool. I never thought about that. Somebody was mentioning that, selling color palettes the other day, and I was like, whoa, that's cool.
That could be a thing.
That could be a thing. This is just our Hoodzpah color palette. Feel free to drag anything off the internet and just eyedropper it. It's all yours.
Free of charge.
Yeah, it's so hard to build a color palette. I spent years just trying to figure out, like, you know, what ours were and what was going to work. So I feel you there. All right, so I don't know how we're feeling about this, but here's kind of where we're at. I'm going to unlock I'm going to just turn off, not that one, some of these layers so that it's easier to kind of see and not have the sketches. The sketches are so ugly So we'll just kind of get rid of some of this stuff and we'll just focus in on, whoop, wow, y'all. So what do we think? Where are we leaning on these two? There's definitely a lot of negative space that I'm going to mess around with, but I promise I won't do it now. I won't just minutely nudge things around the artboard for 3 hours. I'll do that on my own time. But we finished this Not Impossible. This was in record time, and I really dig it. It's like kind of weird. I do think it needs to be a little bit heavier. If you can see, we've got, you know, Not Easy But Not Impossible. Not Impossible feels a little too light. So let's go ahead and up the stroke on that to, right now it's at a 1. Yes, except for that I. So we'll just go ahead and make sure it's all at 1, and then we'll adjust from there. We'll go to 1.5 on the stroke, and we'll see where that takes us. All right, yeah, that looks way better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Bernadette says, thanks, you've inspired me to try making my own font.
Cool.
Yay.
It's so fun, and even if you just, you know, release one and never do another one again, you're going to learn so much, seriously. You're going to have such an appreciation for fonts and the foundries that make labor and toil making them.
David says, getting strong Fleetwood Mac vibes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. David! I should have known it was you, David. David has great taste in music. We share music a lot. From emo to classic rock.
That's the
hardcore.
best.
Oh, dude, David's in a band. Dave, Remind me of your band's name. It's really good. I have it saved on Spotify. They're fairly new. They hit like right before like shutdown. So I feel like. Okay.
Chad Benke says top one.
Top one.
The top.
Yeah, I like the top one too. I'm wondering if it breaks up the. I hope it doesn't break up the phrase too much. Not easy, a memoir, but not impossible. Like, you know what I mean? It kind of breaks up the syncopation or the whatever. But you know what? We'll just kind of start here. I wonder if
the band is Low Speech.
Low Speech. Yes. It's so good. If you like emo, and I mean real emo, don't give me any of this. Okay, I'm afraid I'm going to say some things that will get the chat riled up. Let's say, okay.
Before we go, I'm going to leave you with this.
Yeah. I'm just going to drop a truth bomb. Let's call it Midwest emo. If you like Midwest emo and kind of like alternative, that kind of thing, I think you'll like Low Speech. It's really good. I was just listening to the new American Football, and they have a song with Haley Williams, and it's really good. It's not very new. It's like from last year, but time is a flat circle these days. Time has no meaning.
Yes.
Okay, I really love this. Y'all, I'm really proud of where we got on this. I think what I'll do is just option drag and try one more layout before we leave because it's been about an hour. And we so appreciate y'all hanging out with us.
And then we're going to do a US only giveaway.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. We have to do US only on the giveaways when they're
materials to ship.
Yeah, like a product, just because shipping is absolutely insane.
Outrageous.
I'd love for a scientist or some sort of genius like Bill Gates to get on like that problem. But he's like working on the water problem and like things like that. So that's a good problem to work on. But anyway, shipping is expensive, so we're only going to be able to do a US address. But what was our giveaway question? We have a little question for you in chat.
Yes, we have a question. If you've been watching Ted Lasso, which is so good and so cute, our giveaway question is, what is Rebecca's nickname given to her by her best friend? Ready, set, go.
You guys do that while I'm working over here.
Yeah. Oh, hi, Zach Beckman.
What's up, Zach? Zach's an OG friend.
Jessica says, it looks beautiful on the white background. Do it again. Oh, yeah. Hannah Dickens, you are the winner. It's Stinky. In full form of our 14-year-old humor today, Stinky is the answer. It's like
full circle.
Not even planned.
Full circle.
Okay, Hannah, just email me info@hoodzpahdesign.com and you can pick out a shirt from the sizes that we have left. If you go on the website, they're all listed there, so send me your size and what shirt you want, and I'll let you know if we have it and go from there. Yeah. And also include your address. Please and thank you.
Okay, I think I might have solved our problem while you all were having fun. I was working hard. Okay, that's a little bit wrong. I need this to... Okay. Oh, that's two. That's not going to work either. Well, did the mic pick up my stomach growl? That was crazy.
I heard it.
That was crazy. I didn't have breakfast. Okay. Now let's join these 2 points. I was thinking, what if in the little negative space of the counter of our S, we made a cool arrow? Like, not easy, but wait, there's more. Keep reading. And I make one of those cool, I love those arrows that are like really fancy.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just going to go like this. I'm going to join these 2 paths. That's a great thing of a monoline is it's so easy to like create new shapes and do all this fun stuff. And maybe that's a little thick. I think I'm going to do like a double feather end. We'll call it a feather end. And I think I'll use my lasso tool. Ted Lasso. We'll call the lasso tool the Ted.
Yeah.
Use the Ted.
That's great.
Gosh, I love Ted Lasso.
Anti-Pixel Type Studio. Hi from Argentina. Hello.
What's up? Argentina. Oh my gosh, now I want to sing Evita. People of Argentina. Your newly elected president.
Beautiful.
One
Oh,
parent.
David Defio? Haha, I think even specifying there is a Midwest emote is enough to weed out the mall kids
Yeah.
that love the black veil brides.
Yes, thank you, Dave. I was like, if they had a shirt at Hot Topic, that's probably a sign that it was not my kind of emo.
Watch it.
It's so funny because you were such a Hot Topic kid and I was such not a Hot. I was a Goodwill kid because I was
Okay, I also liked Goodwill as much as I liked Hot Topic.
Yes, I was a Goodwill old man polyester trousers, old children's baseball tees. Actually, I still wear that. That's still my outfit. Not much has changed. Okay, I don't love this arrow, but do you all kind of see what I'm trying to do here? Maybe, you know what? Maybe it is. I'm gonna option drag this just in case we decide we want to go back to it. We'll just group that.
Oh, Anna Tomzak, wanted to order the print version of Fabus to Poland, and the shipping cost killed you. Yeah, we so understand.
I know.
It's horrible.
You know what? We're actually looking into Amazon to see if we can sell on Amazon.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, just so that we can actually like get some decent potentially shipping rates. Yeah, that would be like the only reason I would like join that.
Riki likes the arrow, and
yeah, I'm kind of trying to figure out like which arrow, how we do it, but I do think it could be cool.
Michelle Sophia says maybe the but not impossible can have the star in front of it like a footnote.
Oh, and maybe this goes here? Okay.
And then Matthew Ronan says, good call pulling a memoir out of the S. It felt claustrophobic. The arrow is a nice touch.
Dude, what's up, Matt Ronan? How are you? How do you feel about Russ Westbrook to the Lakers? Did we already talk about this? If anyone says this looks like a butthole, I'm so tired of using a star in a design and someone saying, I'm sorry, all I see is a butthole. It's like, well, then I guess butts are on your mind because this is a reflection on you, not me.
Why are you looking at so many buttholes?
Also, it's a star. Like, we can't use stars anymore, and every time you use a star, someone has to make a butthole comment. So over it. Well, now that's all I can see.
Although, yeah, now that you said that, I'm like,
Oh, you know what we can do? Here's what we'll do. We'll do an asterisk, although that's not even safe either. People are just so crazy.
JD Humphreys says, hello to you.
What's up, JD? All right, the hardest
and
part.
Zach Beckman loves the arrow.
Cool. Thanks, Zach.
Adam Wolf says, definitely has some 70s album art vibes.
That's exactly what I want. Thank you. Highest compliment. Okay, are we liking? Like, which do we like? I can make a couple variations, but it's, you know what? Well, I don't know.
Adam says the star's better.
Okay, the star's better.
Danielle Elias says, please explain what witchcraft you just performed on that feather. Mind blown.
I know, right? It's so fun.
And Michael Vidrin says the feather end is called fletching.
Michael Vidrine, what's up?
Vidrine.
He's from Oklahoma. He did our Freelance and Business and Stuff workshop in Oklahoma before it was even a course, back when it was an in-person workshop, and we had so much fun. Did we not have so much fun? Michael, what's the name of the shots that we had that that one girl kept talking about? And it's like peppermint schnapps and something else disgusting.
Oh no, I'm so curious.
It was horrible, but apparently it's like an Oklahoma special. I don't know.
I love Brendan Farias. I love the arrow, but the asterisk is better for the layout.
Yeah.
And then now everyone sees the butthole since you mentioned it. And Mark says it's a belly button.
Oh, Mark,
which is
thank
helpful.
you for saving that.
For
yes, yes. Because I really, we can't. It's like, what do they gotta ruin stars for?
Hans Benowitz says they should play it safe and say a cat butthole. Otherwise, there are definite follow-up questions. Agreed. That's
like,
what I was
you're
thinking.
The one who won't stop talking about butts, not me.
Like if you own a cat,
please?
okay, but no.
You know what? I just don't know. But I think
Carol says, "Ooh, the asterisk with some of those sweet bulbs on the end."
That's kind of what I was thinking. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's do, where did I make one? I think I did it in this very font, Santa Ana Sans.
JD Humphrey says the arrow made me think it was the cover of the Cupid's Memoir.
What's the Cupid's Memoir?
I don't know. No, I am curious.
Yeah, I'm curious too. Okay, what about, I think this is what you were mentioning. That's kind of fun. And you know what? What I can do is I'll just go ahead and outline this type, create outlines. and then I will offset it. So I'll go to Object, Path, Offset Path, and then we're just going to go like -0.01. .01 or 0.02.
Hans Benowitz says it definitely needs a baby sloth sleeping on that S. Yes.
Ooh, okay, I think we fixed it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool,
there
right?
it is. Love that.
Great
Love
idea.
that.
In chat, I think, Meg Carroll. Meg Carroll, you fixed it.
You fixed it.
This is the joy of having chat to weigh in. It's like,
so
they can see what we can't see. All right, so now I do think I need to readjust my S because I need to find the center of my dock. We are on a 7-inch dock, so it's 3.5. Oops. That's what we want to do. Just go over here. So I'm going to make a little guide at 3.5 inches because I want, it's perfectly on the center pretty much. I want that asterisk to be in the center, and then I want my S to feel like it's perfectly surrounding it. So I'm just going to rotate it a bit, I think.
Like a little hug.
Shift it. Just move it to the left or to the right a bit. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. Oh, that looks good. I think that's good. It looks more like 70s, less whatever whatever the haters might say. Okay, so on this one, I think I'm also going to scale down that and kind of readjust the size on this because I think negative space is always a good thing.
Meg said, thanks. It's so much easier when it's not your own design. And that is the truth.
Yeah, that is so the truth.
You're like, I can't see anything.
Can't see the wood for the trees. Okay, so I think that's nice. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I can try messing around with more swashes later because in our inspiration, if I turn on my sketches layer, you can see I had all this interesting inspiration. I'll lock these layers and move these out of the way. Let's get these out.
Anna Tomzak said maybe you could put the shine icon inside also.
Oh, yeah, our little logo. That could be cool.
And Zach Beckman said, you're a real big star kid. I guess because there's so many.
Let's see. Da, 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 da. Okay, I do think this looks nice. All right, so we will kind of leave it off here, I think. I'm going to go ahead and just...
Also, Riki said, you can offset negatively?
I know.
Learn something new every day.
It's so cool. So I'm going to save this big so I can send it to Jen and she can zoom in and see what's wrong with it.
So she can zoom in and pick it apart.
Pick it to pieces. Okay, so I'll put this in the proofs. It's called V3. Perfect. And yeah, we'll just send that off to Jen and get her feedback. This is where we ended up.
The other Jen.
Thank you all for your help. Yes. Thank you all so much for your help. That was a blast. That was so fun. So it's been about an hour. We got really far. I'm really pleased with that. I think it'd be really cool to add some more swashes. I really want it to feel extra, really extra. Like Dave said, Fleetwood Mac vibes, or anybody who said like retro album cover. That's what we're going for. So, or even, it kind of looks like a 70s self-help book too, doesn't it? That's so funny. I love that. Yeah. But thank you all so much for your input. It was such a blast. Tune in next time. The way that you can be updated on our videos frequently is subscribe. Definitely subscribe. We're going to try to do these at least once a month, but I'm going to really aim now that summer's over to do them like once every 2 weeks, maybe even once every week, because we need to get these illustrations done by the end of the year. So hold me accountable. Thanks for tuning in, JD, Zach, Jessica, everybody. We'll see you next time. Wishing you strong Wi-Fi and a full Netflix queue. Bye, y'all.